The space station Aurora hovered above the lavender skies of Clither 7, sleek metal arms glinting under the light of a nearby star. Inside, the corridors hummed with life, a mix of humans, aliens, and hybrid species moving between labs, training halls, and observation decks. For most, it was a place of science and diplomacy. For Liam Carter, it was a proving ground. Liam had always been a curious human. Not tall, not extraordinarily strong, but quick-witted and fearless in ways some called reckless. He had been chosen to join Aurora's cadet program because humans were known for one thing: adaptability. And in a place filled with alien species with unique skills, instincts, and cultures, adaptability was the most valuable trait of all. Today, Liam's heart raced with anticipation. He was heading to the central training hall for the first time in the mixed species sparring program. This was not a simple exercise. Here, cadets were paired with partners who could have claws, wings, prehensile tails, or unmatched speed. Success meant learning new ways to fight, think, and survive. As Liam approached the hall, the doors slid open with a soft hiss. Inside, he saw a dozen trainees already engaged in drills. Some were human, some alien, and one figure stood out immediately: a towering beast woman with amber eyes that glowed faintly. Her fur a mix of gold and brown, muscles rippling as she practiced a series of swift, fluid movements. The other cadets watched her with a mix of awe and fear. Liam recognized her immediately from the training records: Kayla, a Zorothian alpha. The Zorothians were legendary for their strength, speed, and complex social hierarchy. To be marked by one of them was considered a rare honor. Liam didn't know that yet, but he felt a shiver of excitement anyway. "Carter," a voice called. Liam turned to see Sergeant Vryn, a tall human with a strict face and a mechanical arm. "Pair up with Kayla. She's your partner for today." Liam swallowed. "Yes, Sergeant." He stepped forward, trying to mask his nervousness. Kayla's amber eyes flicked to him, and for a moment, she tilted her head, curious. She gave a slight nod, a gesture of acknowledgement. "Human," she said, her voice low and smooth, almost purring. "You are here to learn. Or to test yourself." "To learn," Liam said quickly. He could feel the weight of her gaze on him. Humans were known for courage and ingenuity, but the Zorothians valued strength and instinct above all. Liam knew he had to earn her respect. The training hall had a soft, padded floor, and holographic targets floated mid-air, simulating moving enemies. Cadets were allowed to use minimal energy weapons for safety, but Kayla preferred hand-to-hand practice. That suited Liam. He wanted to test his reflexes. They bowed to each other, Kayla, with her claws lightly touching the ground. Liam with a deep human bow. Then, without another word, the sparring began. Kayla moved first, her speed astonishing. She lunged forward with a low growl, and Liam barely dodged in time, feeling the air rush past his face as her claws narrowly missed him. He rolled backward and sprang up, trying to anticipate her movements. She was fast, stronger than anyone he had faced before, but Liam noticed a pattern. Her movements were not random. They had rhythm, almost like a dance. Humans could sometimes see what aliens could not, and Liam began to exploit that. He dodged slightly earlier, countered with feints, and tried to stay unpredictable. Minutes passed like seconds. Sweat ran down Liam's forehead, but his mind felt sharp. Kayla circled him, her tail flicking with precision. Then, in a sudden burst of motion, she lunged again. This time, Liam misjudged his step. Her teeth grazed his shoulder knot in aggression, but in a sharp, controlled bite that sent a jolt through his body. He froze, momentarily shocked. Kayla's amber eyes met his, and for a split second, Liam saw something he didn't expect. Recognition. Respect. Something more. "You are marked," she said, her voice calm but firm. "The bite is a symbol among my people. It does not harm. It signifies potential, courage, strength. You have it." Liam stared at his shoulder, half expecting to see a wound. But there was nothing, just a faint shimmer where her bite had touched. Confused, he asked, "Marked? What? What does that mean? Kayla stepped back, circling him like a predator examining its prey. It is rare for a Zorathian alpha to mark a human. It means you have something special, something worthy of respect. Many of my kind would not survive the mark. You will, Liam blinked, trying to process her words. You marked me. Yes, she said simply. You are chosen, or at least noticed. Do not mistake it for friendship. It is recognition of your potential. Humans had never seen the Zorothian marking ritual before. Liam's friends would likely call it superstition or exaggeration. But Liam felt something inside him shift a strange warmth in his chest. A surge of energy that made his muscles feel taut and ready. Before he could ask more, Kayla lunged again, initiating the next round of sparring. Liam moved instinctively, feeling his reflexes sharper, his reactions faster. He managed to block a few of her strikes, something he had never done in the first 5 minutes of practice. Kayla's amber eyes narrowed, and for a moment Liam thought he saw a faint smile and expression of approval. She stopped suddenly, her tail coiling around her feet. Enough for now, she said. You have the mark, but you have much to learn. Courage alone does not make a warrior. Strength alone does not make a leader. You must master your mind, your instincts, and your choices. Liam nodded, panting. I want to learn. I will. Good, she replied. Tomorrow, we begin again. Prepare yourself. The mark comes with responsibility. Liam left the training hall, his shoulder tingling faintly where Kayla had bitten him. He walked down the corridor, still trying to understand what had just happened. Was it an honor? A warning? Or something else entirely? As he passed by his fellow cadets, he noticed their curious stares. Humans whispered, aliens murmured in their own languages, and a few of the younger Zorothians looked impressed. News traveled fast on Aurora, and Liam realized that being marked might bring attention he wasn't ready for. Back in his quarters, Liam examined his shoulder in the mirror. There was no wound, no scar, only a faint glow that seemed to pulse with his heartbeat. He flexed his muscles experimentally and, almost instinctively, he felt a surge of energy. His mind raced faster, his senses felt sharper. It was subtle, but undeniable. A soft chime interrupted his thoughts. A holographic message blinked on his wall panel. It was Kayla. Rest well, human. Tomorrow, we test more than your strength. We test your will. Liam sat back in his chair, staring at the message. His heart raced. He didn't fully understand the mark, but he felt its weight already. He had been chosen notice by a species far stronger and more disciplined than his own. The thought was both thrilling and terrifying. The next morning, Liam arrived at the training hall earlier than anyone else. He wanted to observe Kayla before the session started. She was already there, stretching with the grace and precision of a predatory dancer. Her fur shimmered under the lights, muscles taut and ready. Liam felt small, even clumsy, but also eager. Kayla noticed him and gave a small nod. You came early. Good. Observation is the first lesson. Learn before you act. A human with eyes open sees more than a Zorothian who leaps blindly. Liam nodded, absorbing her words. He watched her move, every motion precise, every strike calculated. He saw patterns he hadn't noticed before, subtle tells in her stance, the way she shifted weight before attacking. He mimicked them in his mind, trying to predict her next move. When the sparring began again, Liam felt different. He reacted faster, blocked more strikes, and even managed to land a few light touches on Kayla. She growled softly, an approving sound, and circled him with a predator's grace. You improve quickly, she said. The mark accelerates some things, but you must not rely on it. Trust your mind, not only your instincts. Liam nodded again. He felt a strange bond forming, though he didn't fully understand it. The bite had been more than physical, it was symbolic. A recognition of his potential, and now he wanted to prove it. Hours passed and the sparring continued. Liam's human endurance surprised Kayla. She adjusted her movements, sometimes slowing down, sometimes challenging him with sudden bursts of speed. Each session pushed him further. Each strike sharpened his mind. By the end of the day, he was exhausted, but exhilarated. Kayla stepped back finally, letting out a long breath. You are marked human. Remember, it is not a gift. It is a challenge. Those who bear it must rise to the occasion. Liam smiled, wiping sweat from his brow. I understand. I'll do my best. Kayla's amber eyes softened just slightly. Good, we begin again tomorrow. Do not rest too much, human. A mind at ease forgets, but a mind tested grows stronger. As Liam left the hall, he realized something profound. This was just the beginning. The mark was more than a bite hit, was a challenge, a test, and a recognition of what humans could achieve. In a universe filled with incredible species, humans were often underestimated. But perhaps that was their greatest strength, and Liam intended to prove it. The next morning, the space station Aurora buzzed with activity as usual. Liam Carter walked through the corridors with a new sense of purpose. He had been marked by Kayla, the Zerothian Alpha, and though the meaning was not fully clear to him, he felt different. There was a weight on his shoulders, yes, but also a strange energy flowing through his body. His reflexes felt sharper, his thoughts clearer. As he made his way to the training hall, Liam reflected on the previous day. The bite had been more than physical, it had been symbolic. Kayla had said that being marked was rare and significant. He had been cautious at first, unsure if it was a good thing or a dangerous sign. But now, with the dawn light glinting off the polished floors of Aurora, he felt eager to discover its effects. Inside the training hall, Kayla was already stretching near the center. Her amber eyes glinted as she noticed Liam entering. You came early again, she said, her voice calm but firm. Good observation and practice are equally important. Today we explore the meaning of your mark. Liam nodded, still catching his breath from his morning warm-up. I want to understand it, he said. I want to learn everything. Kayla tilted her head, a small motion that seemed almost human. The mark is not a gift or a curse. It is recognition. It signifies potential. But potential must be tested to grow. She gestured toward a series of holographic targets that flickered to life in the center of the hall. Some resembled moving aliens, others strange robotic shapes. We will begin with reflex drills, she explained. Azorthian marks one they believe can rise above fear and hesitation. Today, you test that belief. Liam stepped forward, his pulse quickening. As the first target darted toward him, he reacted instinctively, dodging to the left and spinning to avoid a strike. His movements felt smoother, almost instinctive. The faint glow where Kayla had bitten him seemed to pulse with his heartbeat. Giving him a strange sense of balance and awareness, Kayla watched closely, her tail curling lightly. Good. You anticipate better than most humans. The mark awakens something inside you, but do not rely solely on it. Your mind must remain sharp. The drills continued for hours. Liam felt his speed and awareness improving. Each time a target moved unpredictably, his body reacted before he consciously thought. He dodged, countered, and even landed touches on some holographic projections. For the first time in his training, he realized that the human mind and body could adapt in ways even alien species found impressive. After the drills, Kayla led Liam to a quieter part of the hall. Away from the holographic targets and other cadets, she sat cross-legged, her fur glinting under the overhead lights. Liam mirrored her posture, feeling slightly awkward but eager to learn. The mark is more than reflexes, Kayla explained. It is a bond. It is recognition. Among my kind, the bite is given to one who shows courage, intelligence, and resilience. Humans are not often marked. Most species consider you fragile. Yet, you survived, and your mind adapted. Liam's brow furrowed. So, you didn't bite me by accident? Kayla shook her head. Never accidental. Every mark is deliberate. You were noticed because you displayed something rare. Among humans, few have what it takes to face a Zorthian Alpha without faltering. Liam swallowed. He had always thought humans were ordinary compared to the incredible species around him. But Kella's words made him reconsider. Perhaps there was more in humans than anyone gave credit for. I want to live up to it, Liam said softly. I don't fully understand it yet, but I want to try. Kella's amber eyes softened slightly. Trying is not enough. You must commit. You must push beyond fear, doubt, and hesitation. The mark is a promise and a challenge. Accept it fully, and it will guide you. Deny it, and it can become a burden. For the next few days, Kayla began teaching Liam more than combat skills. She introduced him to Zorothian history, culture, and values. Liam learned that the Zorothians prized loyalty, strategic thinking, and courage above all else. To be marked was to be invited into a relationship of mutual respect and responsibility. Liam also noticed subtle changes in himself. He woke earlier, his mind alert. His movements were quicker, and he could anticipate the actions of his fellow cadets more easily. During training sessions, he began to notice patterns, strategies, and weaknesses he had previously overlooked. One afternoon, Liam joined a mixed-species team for a mock mission simulation. They were tasked with defending a small outpost from a simulated alien attack. Liam's instincts, sharpened by the mark, allowed him to coordinate the team effectively. He directed humans and aliens alike. Anticipating the simulated enemy's moves before they even occurred, Kayla observed from the sidelines. Her tail flicked in approval. The mark amplifies your potential, human. But remember, leadership is more than reflexes. It is decision-making under pressure, trust, and courage. You are learning well. After the simulation, Liam walked back to the training hall, reflecting on the past few days. He realized the mark was teaching him something important. Humans might not be the strongest physically, but they had adaptability, intelligence, and determination that could surpass almost any alien species if honed properly. Later, Liam decided to approach Kayla privately. He found her in the observation deck, staring out at the planet below. Kayla, he said, why me? Why mark a human? Kayla didn't turn immediately. After a long pause, she spoke. Because you were not afraid. Because you reacted with your mind, not just instinct. Because you adapted. That is rare among humans and other species alike. Many are quick to flee or hesitate. You did neither. Liam nodded slowly. So the mark. It's like a test. Kayla turned to face him, her amber eyes intense. Yes, but also an opportunity. It is a recognition of what you can become. The mark is a sign that you are capable of more than you realize. It is both a challenge and a responsibility. The weight of her words settled on Liam. It was thrilling, but daunting. He had never thought of himself as special. Yet here was a powerful alien alpha telling him he had potential. The mark was no longer just a symbol. It was a path he could follow. Over the next few days, Liam began experimenting with his new abilities. He noticed his endurance increasing. He could jump higher, react faster, and focus more clearly. In sparring sessions, he was able to anticipate moves he had never noticed before. He felt connected to something larger than himself, linked to Kella's strength and the respect she had shown him. Liam's human friends noticed the change too. They watched him during drills, whispering in awe. He's faster, one said, and smarter. How is he keeping up with a Zorothian? Even alien cadets were curious. A young Valerian, a species known for their telepathic abilities, asked Liam cautiously, is the mark dangerous? Or a blessing? Liam shrugged. I think. It's both. But it's more about responsibility than power. Kayla says it's a challenge, not a gift. Kayla herself remained a mystery. She was strict, demanding, and enigmatic. Yet Liam began to understand her lessons. She was teaching him patience, strategy, and resilience. And in return, he was learning the true potential of human adaptability. One evening, Liam stayed late in the training hall, practicing alone. The holographic targets flickered around him as he moved, his reflexes honed sharper than ever. He could feel the faint pulse of energy from the mark in his shoulder. It was as if Kella's recognition had unlocked something inside him. Humans are curious, Kella's voice said suddenly behind him. Liam spun around, startled. She had returned quietly, her presence almost silent. "You practice late," she observed. "Good. Discipline is key. But remember, even the strongest mind and body need balance. Overstrain can weaken what the mark strengthens." Liam nodded. I just want to understand it fully. I want to live up to it." Kyla tilted her head. "Understanding comes with experience, not just observation. The mark shows you potential, but only action reveals it fully." Over the next few weeks, Liam continued his training, both with Kayla and in solo drills. He faced new challenges, sparring with multiple opponents, adapting to alien combat styles, and learning to coordinate with species whose languages and instincts differed completely from his own. Each day he felt the mark's influence more clearly, but the mark was not only physical. Liam noticed subtle emotional shifts. He felt more confident, calmer under pressure, and more willing to take risks when necessary. His human peers began to rely on him in drills, seeking his guidance, and Kayla, though strict, began to show hints of trust, allowing him more freedom during sparring, giving him small but significant responsibilities in mixed-species exercises. One day, during a particularly complex simulation, Liam faced a decision. The holographic enemies were advancing on two separate fronts. He could focus on one and risk the other, or attempt to defend both with a creative strategy he had been practicing in secret. Without hesitation, he chose the riskier path. His instincts, sharpened by the mark, guided him. He coordinated his team flawlessly, anticipating enemy movements and using their own strengths against them. The simulation ended successfully. Cadets and instructors alike stared at him in amazement. Kella's amber eyes gleamed with pride. "You acted with courage, intelligence, and leadership," she said. "The mark was not just a symbol, it guided you. But you did the work. Remember that." That night, Liam reflected on everything he had learned. A week later, the space station Aurora received an urgent distress signal from a nearby uninhabited planet, designated Lyra 9. The message was brief and clear. A previously abandoned research outpost had been taken over by an unknown alien species. It was unarmed, but intelligence reports suggested the aliens were aggressive and territorial. Captain Rin, the commanding officer of Aurora, called an emergency meeting. The room hummed with tension as humans and aliens gathered around the central holotable. Liam Carter listened intently. "Cadets and specialists," Captain Rin began, his mechanical arm tapping the table. "This mission will test everything you have learned. The outpost is located in rough terrain, and the aliens are unpredictable. Only teams that can adapt quickly will succeed." Liam glanced at Kayla, standing near the back of the room. Her amber eyes were sharp, focused. She turned slightly and nodded at him, a silent signal that she trusted him to perform well. Liam felt a surge of confidence. He had been marked by her, trained under her guidance, and now he would have a chance to prove himself in real circumstances. The team assembled quickly. Liam, Kayla, and 4 other cadets to humans, a Valerian, and a Catheria formed a mixed-species squad. Their mission was clear: secure the outpost, neutralize threats if possible, and gather intelligence. As the shuttle descended through Lyra 9's dense atmosphere, Liam studied the planet below. Towering rock formations jutted from the ground like jagged teeth, and dense fog obscured large portions of the landscape. The aliens had likely chosen a high vantage point for their occupation, giving them a strategic advantage. Kayla leaned close to Liam, her voice low. "Stay alert. The mark gives you instincts, but instincts are only part of survival. Observe, think, and act. Do not hesitate." Liam nodded, gripping his equipment tightly. His shoulder tingled faintly where the mark had been, a constant reminder that he was no longer an ordinary cadet. The shuttle landed with a soft thud on a rocky plateau near the outpost. The team disembarked, moving quietly but cautiously. Holographic maps projected from their wrist devices, showing the layout of the outpost and potential enemy positions. Liam led the initial advance, his instincts heightened by the mark. He could sense patterns in the terrain, anticipate movements, and notice subtle disturbances that others might miss. It was as if the Zorathian bite had opened a channel of awareness within him. Suddenly, movement flickered in the fog. Liam signaled the team to halt. Through the mist, several alien shapes emerged, their eyes glowing faintly in the dim light. They were taller than humans, with sleek, armored exoskeletons and elongated limbs. Their approach was cautious, but their intent was clear. They would not let anyone enter without a fight. Kayla moved beside Liam, her claws sheathed, but ready. "Form a line," she instructed. "Defensive posture. Wait for my signal." The aliens paused, observing the human and alien squad. Liam's heart pounded, but he remained calm. His training with Kayla had taught him to breathe, focus, and react without fear. The first alien lunged. Liam reacted instinctively, sidestepping and using the alien's momentum against it. Kayla engaged another, her speed and strength unmatched. Liam noticed the aliens were intelligent, coordinating their attacks, but their patterns were predictable to someone who could read them carefully. Liam barked instructions to the team, guiding their movements. "Left flank, cover the ridge. Valerian, use your sensors to track movement behind those rocks." The team moved as one, their coordination smooth. Liam felt a strange confidence, like the mark had given him a sixth sense. He could anticipate danger, plan attacks, support his teammates simultaneously. After several tense minutes, the aliens retreated temporarily, giving the squad a chance to advance toward the outpost. Liam's team entered cautiously, clearing rooms and securing entrances. The outpost was in disarray with overturned equipment and shattered screens. It was clear the aliens had taken control quickly, but had not yet fortified the structure fully. Kayla approached Liam, her amber eyes studying him. "You are thinking like a leader, human. Remember, courage is not rushing in blindly. It is guiding your team wisely." Liam nodded. He moved toward a control terminal, accessing the outpost's systems. "We need information on their communication channels," he said. "If we can understand their signals, we can anticipate their next moves." His fingers flew over the interface, translating alien data into readable formats. The mark seemed to enhance his focus. He noticed patterns and anomalies almost instantly, things that others might miss entirely. Within minutes, it compiled a preliminary report on the alien behavior patterns and communication methods. Kayla studied the report, her tail flicking. "Impressive," she said. "The mark is not only strength and instinct, it amplifies what you already possess: intelligence, observation, and initiative. Use it well." As they prepared to move deeper into the outpost, alarms suddenly blared. Several alien reinforcements had arrived, blocking the main corridor. The team froze for a split second, calculating options. Liam felt the familiar tingling in his shoulder, the mark alerting him to possibilities. "Alternate route," he said quickly. "Through the ventilation shafts. I've noticed weak points in the structure." Kayla looked at him, a faint hint of approval in her expression. "Good. Lead the way." The team navigated the shafts carefully, moving above the main corridors and avoiding detection. Liam's instincts, sharpened by the mark, allowed him to detect weak panels and potential hazards. They dropped silently into the enemy-controlled area. Catching several aliens off guard, a skirmish followed, brief but intense. Liam and Kayla coordinated flawlessly, their teamwork seamless. Humans, Valerian and Cathari cadets, followed their lead, striking precisely and retreating strategically. Liam noticed something important. The mark did not make him invincible. It heightened his abilities, but only his decisions and leadership ensured success. After the fight, the team secured the central control room. Liam accessed the alien communication network, sending a disruption signal to disable their coordination. The aliens outside faltered, confused by the sudden loss of order. The squad used the opportunity to advance further, eventually reclaiming the entire outpost. Exhausted but exhilarated, Liam leaned against a console. Kayla stood nearby, her breathing steady. "You have proven much human," she said. "But remember this, the mark is not about victories alone. It is about potential realized through action, courage, and intelligence. You have begun to understand it, but your journey is far from complete. Liam wiped sweat from his brow, nodding. I understand. It's more than just a symbol. It's a challenge, and I want to meet it fully. Kella's amber eyes softened, just slightly. Good. Few humans show such determination. Your kind is underestimated, yet capable. The mark highlights that capability, but only you can fulfill it. As the team prepared to leave the outpost, Liam looked back at the structure. He realized that being marked had changed him profoundly. He had not only gained new abilities, but also a deeper understanding of leadership, strategy, and teamwork. The mark was a symbol of recognition, but also a guided reminder of what humans could achieve when pushed to their limits. The return journey to Aurora was quiet. Each cadet lost in thought. Liam sat beside Kayla, reflecting on everything that had happened. Kayla, he said finally, I feel different. Stronger, sharper, but I also feel more responsible. Is that part of the mark? Kayla nodded. Yes. The mark carries responsibility. You are noticed. Yes. But you are also accountable for your actions, your decisions, and your influence on others. Humans often underestimate their own potential. The mark reveals it. But it also demands that you use it wisely. Liam thought about his friends, the other cadets, and the aliens who had followed him into battle. The mark was not a badge of power alone, it was a call to guide, protect, and inspire. He realized that his journey was just beginning, that the trials ahead would continue to test his courage, intelligence, and humanity. As Aurora re-entered orbit, Liam felt a quiet determination settle in his chest. The mark had given him abilities, but more importantly, it had given him purpose. He would continue to train, to learn, and to grow. And one day, he would fully understand the meaning of being marked by Kayla, the Zorathian Alpha. That night, in his quarters, Liam sat at his workstation, reviewing the mission data. The faint pulse of energy where Kayla had bitten him reminded him of the mark's presence. It was a constant companion, guiding his thoughts and instincts. He knew one thing for certain. Humans were capable of more than anyone realized. With courage, intelligence, and the willingness to adapt, they could rise to challenges that no one expected. And Liam Carter intended to prove it. Outside, Kayla watched from her own quarters, silently acknowledging his growth. The mark was not completed, never truly was, but Liam had taken the first steps toward realizing his full potential in the universe. Full of wonders, dangers, and opportunities awaited him. Weeks had passed since the mission on Lyra 9. Liam Carter had returned to the space station Aurora with new confidence, new skills, and a growing understanding of the mark Kayla had given him. Yet, he knew the journey was far from over. Being marked was not a reward, it was a challenge, a symbol of potential that demanded action, growth, and responsibility. The station hummed with activity as usual. Cadets practiced in the training halls, scientists studied alien specimens, and diplomats held meetings in polished conference rooms. Liam walked through the corridors with a quiet determination. His human peers now regarded him differently. They noticed his calm confidence, his sharper reflexes, and the clarity in his decisions. Kayla awaited him in the central training hall, her amber eyes observing him as he entered. She did not speak immediately. Instead, she gestured for him to stand in the center of the hall, where holographic projections displayed previous combat scenarios, mission logs, and simulated challenges. Human, she said finally, her voice calm yet commanding. You have grown since the day I marked you, but the mark is not complete. True mastery comes not only from skill or reflex. It comes from understanding, leadership, and the ability to inspire others. Duh. Liam nodded. He had thought about her words often. Leadership was not about giving orders. It was about observation, guidance, and responsibility. He realized the mark had given him more than physical enhancements. It had sharpened his mind, teaching him to act decisively, think strategically, and trust in himself and others. Kayla activated a simulation. The holographic projections formed an entire alien city under siege. Liam's task was to lead a team of mixed-species cadets to evacuate civilians, secure critical structures, and neutralize threats. It was the most complex simulation he had faced so far. The moment the simulation began, Liam noticed the difference the mark had made. He could sense patterns in enemy movement, anticipate challenges, and guide his team with precision. His instructions were clear and concise, balancing caution and bold action. Humans, Valerians, and Cathari followed his lead without hesitation. Kayla watched silently, her tail flicking with approval. Liam noticed her presence not as an intimidating alpha, but as a mentor observing growth. The holographic enemies were relentless, adapting to the team's actions. But Liam, drawing on every lesson Kayla had taught him, adjusted strategies on the fly, moved through the eastern corridor, instructed while the Valerian scouts cover the flanks. Cathari, take the high ground. Humans, focus on securing civilians. Each cadet moved efficiently. Liam's mind worked faster than before, analyzing variables, predicting outcomes, making decisions with clarity and confidence. It was no longer instinct alone. It was intelligence, strategy, and leadership combined. After a tense hour, the simulation concluded successfully. All objectives were completed, civilians were safely evacuated, and threats neutralized. Liam stood in the center of the hall, breathing steadily. His peers looked at him with admiration. While Kayla approached him slowly, "You acted with courage, intelligence, and leadership," she said. "The mark has not changed who you are, human. It has revealed what you were always capable of. Strength, wisdom, and adaptability qualities many species underestimate in humans. You have proven yourself worthy." Liam felt a mix of pride and humility. He realized that the mark was more than a bite tit, was recognition, a challenge, and a guide. He had grown because he chose to embrace it fully. Kella's gaze softened slightly. "Remember, the mark is not an end. It is a beginning. Your actions, your decisions, and your guidance will inspire others. Humans are underestimated, yes, but when they rise to challenges, they shine brighter than many give them credit for." Liam nodded. "I understand. I want to help others too. I want to show what humans can do and learn from everyone around me." Kella's tail flicked once. Good leadership is not only about skill. It is about responsibility, guidance, and respect. You are ready to mentor, guide, and inspire. That is the true power of the mark. The next days were filled with training, teaching, and mentoring. Liam began working with new cadets, human and alien alike. He shared lessons from Kayla, his own experiences, and insights from the Lyranine mission. Many cadets were inspired by his calm confidence, quick thinking, and adaptability. One afternoon, Liam led a mixed-species exercise in a complex simulation facility. The challenge was to defend a critical outpost against multiple waves of simulated threats. Cadets struggled at first, unsure how to coordinate across species with differing abilities. Liam stepped forward. "Focus on communication. Observe your allies' strengths. Cover weaknesses. Adapt quickly. Trust your instincts, but think strategically." Under his guidance, the team adjusted, moving as a single, efficient unit. Humans provided tactical support, Valerians scouted ahead, and Cathari held key positions. Liam's instructions were precise, and the team responded without hesitation. Kayla watched from the observation deck. She smiled faintly, recognizing the progress. Liam's leadership had grown beyond her expectations. The mark had awakened potential. Yes, but it was Liam's choices, actions, and dedication that truly defined him as the simulation ended successfully. Cadets cheered, and Liam felt a deep sense of accomplishment. It was no longer about proving himself, it was about empowering others, showing that humans could rise to challenges and inspire teamwork across species. That evening, Liam and Kayla stood on the observation deck, overlooking the planet below. The lavender skies glimmered in the distance, reflecting light off Aurora's metal surface. "You have done well, human," Kayla said softly. "The mark is complete not in the sense of a physical bite, but in the sense of potential realized. You have proven courage, intelligence, leadership, and adaptability. You have grown, and you have guided others to grow as well. Liam looked out at the planet, feeling a deep connection to the universe and his place within it. I couldn't have done it alone. You taught me, guided me, and challenged me, and the mark. It helped me see what I'm capable of. Kella's amber eyes gleamed. And yet, this is only the beginning. There are worlds to explore, challenges to face, and lives to protect. The mark is a reminder that humans, underestimated as you are, can rise to meet any challenge with courage, intelligence, and determination. Use it wisely, and you will inspire generations to come. In the weeks that followed, Liam's influence on Aurora grew. Cadets looked to him for guidance, aliens sought his insight, and humans admired his calm confidence. The mark had become more than a symbol, it was a legacy, one that demonstrated the extraordinary potential of humans in a universe filled with astonishing species. During one training session, a young cadet approached Liam nervously. "Sir," she said, "how did you do it? How did you become so capable?" Liam smiled gently. "I didn't do it alone. I learned from others, trusted my instincts, and embraced the challenges in front of me. Humans are capable of great things when they adapt, think, and act. Remember, courage and intelligence are more important than strength alone." The cadet nodded, inspired, and ran off to practice with renewed determination. Liam watched, realizing that this guiding, inspiring, and mentoring was the true meaning of the mark. One evening, as Liam trained alone in the hall, Kayla appeared beside him. "Do you feel the full weight of the mark now?" she asked. "I think so," Liam replied. "It's not just about strength or skill. It's about responsibility, growth, and helping others realize their potential too. It's about leadership, trust, and courage." Kayla nodded approvingly. "Good. That is the legacy of the mark. Few humans understand it so fully. Many species underestimate you, but when humans rise to challenges, they do so with ingenuity, adaptability, and determination. That is why you were marked it, why you will continue to rise." As the station lights dimmed for the night, Liam stood on the observation deck looking at the stars. The universe was vast, full of wonders, challenges, and mysteries, and for the first time he felt truly ready to face it all. The mark had begun as a symbol, a bite from an alien alpha. But through training, experience, and growth, it had become so much more. It had revealed his potential, sharpened his instincts, and guided him toward leadership. It had taught him courage, intelligence, and the importance of mentoring others. And it had shown him the extraordinary capabilities of humans. Often underestimated, but capable of greatness beyond imagination. Kayla stepped beside him, her presence a silent acknowledgement of his journey. The future awaits. Human. Continue to rise, continue to guide, and continue to inspire. The mark is not the end. It is only the beginning. Liam smiled, feeling the pulse of energy in his shoulder, the faint glow that had accompanied him since the day Kayla had bitten him. He knew that he was no longer the same cadet who had entered the training hall weeks ago. He was stronger, wiser, and ready for the challenges of the universe. Together, Human and Zorathian Alpha. They stood on the observation deck, gazing at the stars, knowing that this was only the start of a new chapter, one where humans could rise to greatness, where the mark was not just a symbol, but a legacy of courage, intelligence, and limitless potential. The station below continued its hum, unaware of the quiet transformation that had taken place. And Liam Carter, marked by a beast woman alpha, ready to guide and inspire others.